While the Second World War raged across Europe and the Pacific, a quieter but equally dangerous conflict played out within the borders of the United States, a battle of spies, sabotage, and counterintelligence. Between 1939 and 1945, German spy rings operated within the U.S., attempting to gather intelligence, disrupt American industry, and undermine the Allied war effort from within. These espionage networks, often composed of immigrants, sympathizers, and trained WWII German military intelligence agents, were aggressively pursued by the FBI and ultimately dismantled. Their stories offer a fascinating look into the shadow war fought on American soil. The WWII and Nazi espionage in America. Germany's Foreign Intelligence Service during World War II, the WWII, directed espionage activities in the United States with the aim of gathering military and industrial intelligence, spreading propaganda, sabotaging key infrastructure, monitoring anti-Nazi groups and German dissidents. Agents were often recruited from German-American communities or smuggled into the U.S. via neutral countries. While some were competent and well-trained, many were poorly prepared and easily exposed, thanks largely to the vigilance of American counterintelligence. Duquesne spy ring, the largest espionage case in U.S. history. The most famous and damaging Nazi spy ring uncovered in the U.S. was the Duquesne spy ring, named after its leader Fritz Joubert Duquesne. Fritz Duquesne, a South African-born adventurer and saboteur, had long harbored hatred toward the British and aligned himself with the Nazis. The ring, consisting of 33 agents, operated across the U.S. and passed information to Germany about ship movements, military production, and defense facilities. Some members were embedded in key industries, including aviation and maritime services. The ring was infiltrated by a double agent, William G. Sebold, who worked for the FBI after being coerced into spying by the WWII. Over a year, the FBI used Sebold's contacts to gather evidence, even setting up a phony shortwave radio station to transmit fake information to Germany while monitoring the network. In December 1941, just after Pearl Harbor, all 33 members were arrested. They were later convicted in what remains the largest espionage conviction in U.S. history, with over 300 years of combined prison sentences handed down. Operation Pastorius, Saboteurs on American shores. Another dramatic Nazi espionage effort was Operation Pastorius in June 1942, a plot to sabotage American war production and infrastructure. 8 German agents, trained in sabotage techniques, were sent via U-boats to Long Island, New York, and Ponte Vedra Beach, Florida. The teams carried explosives and were ordered to destroy power plants, factories, railroads, and aluminum plants. One of the agents, George Dash, defected almost immediately and turned himself in to the FBI, hoping to gain immunity. His cooperation led to the capture of all 8 saboteurs within 2 weeks. In a secret military tribunal, 6 were executed by electric chair. The remaining 2 received prison sentences, later commuted by President Truman. Operation Pastorius was a disaster for Nazi Germany and a propaganda victory for the U.S. Nazi influence and propaganda. In addition to espionage and sabotage, Germany tried to spread pro-Nazi propaganda through American groups sympathetic to Hitler's ideology, such as the German-American Bund. Though not officially part of the WWII, these organizations held rallies, published literature, and attempted to sway public opinion, particularly before America entered the war. The FBI kept a close eye on these groups, and many of their leaders were arrested or deported after 1941. FBI counterintelligence, a silent war. The successful dismantling of German spy rings in the U.S. was largely thanks to the Federal Bureau of Investigation, under Director J. Edgar Hoover. The FBI expanded its counterintelligence operations significantly during World War II, often working in cooperation with British intelligence, MI6, and Canadian authorities. Key tools included surveillance and wiretapping, double agents, fake communication channels, interrogation and infiltration of ethnic German communities. These methods helped ensure that none of Germany's espionage or sabotage efforts caused lasting damage on American soil. Aftermath and legacy. Germany's spy operations in the U.S. ultimately failed to achieve their goals. The rings were either broken up quickly or produced low-quality intelligence, and American authorities responded decisively to any threats. Still, these efforts had a lasting impact. They justified greater internal security measures, including tighter immigration controls and increased FBI surveillance powers. They highlighted the importance of counterintelligence, leading to the development of more advanced methods in the Cold War era. They served as a cautionary tale about the vulnerability of open societies to covert foreign influence.